Ozempic costs $1,500. There's now a bill before Congress that would force the insurance companies, Medicare, to pay for it for every American who's obese. Well, that's 74% of our population.
Right.
That's going to be $3 trillion a year. For a tiny fraction of that, you could give every American 3 meals a day of organic food and diabetes would disappear overnight. Diabetes is treatable with food, with exercise, and obesity is.
Every day, we wake up to rather alarming headlines of a growing health crisis in America, and the statistics are just staggering. Chronic diseases and diabetes are rampant, leaving many feeling desolate and hopeless. The food we eat has become a battleground as big corporations continue to push unhealthy products that fuel this epidemic. All the while, the true consequences remain shrouded in deception. It's a devastating scenario that calls for our immediate attention and action. You might ask who's behind this disaster, and I don't think you'll be surprised to learn that it's the food and pharmaceutical industries. They're so profit driven so as to be blind to the wreckage, the literal havoc they've created in the lives of countless Americans. They deny responsibility while their deceptive marketing continues to mislead the public. And coincidentally, the same companies that profit from our suffering and our sickness through massive drug sales are the very ones promoting processed toxic foods under the guise of health. And as I noted, the consequences are catastrophic and they're growing worse each and every day with skyrocketing rates of obesity, diabetes, and associated health crises. Many are left struggling to navigate their way through a very misleading landscape. But today we have with us Dr. Sarah Doyle, a leading voice who's long been resisting this tide. She's on the front lines of making America healthy again, advocating for change and guiding individuals towards sustainable health solutions. Do not miss out on her exclusive offer to consult. She can help you both reclaim your health and challenge the status quo. Just click on the link below to find out more. Sarah, welcome back. Great to see you as always.
Thank you. I love being a guest on your show. You're such a great host, and your followers are so fun to interact with. We have such a great little family that we've created over the past year.
Yeah. You have a nice Turley Talks group there that you work with, that you're getting healthy again. This is even before the whole Robert Kennedy phenomenon. So you guys you're totally on the front lines of this. Speaking of being on the front lines of making America healthy again, am I right in my assessment here? Pull back the curtain for us, if you would.
Oh yeah, for sure. So I have been traveling for the last 2 months in South and Central America, and I started off in Mexico. And Mexico has this reputation, like, oh, don't drink the water, blah blah blah. But it's not like that anymore. Like, they don't allow the GMOs. Organic is normal. When I fly on a Mexican airline, the little snacks they give out to me are like dried fruits and nuts, like real food. When I get on, I flew United Airlines home last night, and it's like garbage, garbage, or garbage. And then I was in the VIP lounge, and whatever I ate, I was sicker from what I ate in Houston at the airport than I was the last 10 days in Mexico. So, and I'll tell you, even I started off in Mexico in January, and within the first 10 days, I lost 2 pounds of inflammation. Just even though I shop at Whole Foods, I get regenerative meat delivered here. Just the fact that they don't put things in food there that we're allowed to put in our food here, I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my God, I weigh like what I weighed in high school. Like, wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's what RFK has been saying. Just we have so many chemicals and compounds and so forth, artificiants in our foods that no other country in the world allows.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Is that how the big food and pharmaceutical corporations are all just part of the blame here for this health epidemic?
I would say so. There are like packaged junk foods available, but when I go to the beach, when I was in Rio de Janeiro, like nobody was fat. They eat acai, like they have this fruit, acai. It's like a superfood. It's high in good fats. It looks kind of like a blueberry. It has a very unique flavor, but like they have them, these acai stands everywhere. They buy, like, instead of going to the store and buying a big thing of ice cream, you buy a big thing of acai, and then, you just give it to your kids and they sit there and eat this fruit. I mean, they're just, when I go to the beach, and I live in Miami Beach, when I go to the beach, it's like there's a lot of fat kids, and that's scary because like, their brains are getting affected by the blood sugar. It's scary to me.
Yeah, I like that's what I love about your approach is you're so holistic. Well, my wife's from Japan. We see this when we go to Japan, it's the same thing. Even my kids have noticed it. Why is everyone so much slimmer here? It's like, huh, this is strange. It's obviously there's something dietary there. I'm just curious, in your opinion, how these industries have been how they've been allowed to sort of perpetuate this health crisis sort of unchecked, not held responsible despite, I think, just the obvious undeniable evidence that we're seeing.
Yeah, I mean, I really applaud organizations like Moms Across America who are constantly pushing the buttons, and I'm really grateful for RFK standing up to these big guys. And I kind of think that it's like big tobacco. Big tobacco had their run,
Yeah.
and they
Yeah.
took advantage
Great
of
point.
us, and when they lost, the gravy train was over for them, and I'm hoping that the gravy train is over for things like Procter and Gamble and Nabisco. And I'm really excited to see how this plays out in the next few years. There's a lot of sneaky things that, and I'll talk about it in my program. Like, for example, there's like certain things in plastics, bisphenol A, you may see like BPA free on a label. But even if something plastic is BPA free, sometimes they'll sneak another one like BPF. But these plastic molecules, you hear about microplastics, they've been found to actually bind to the pancreatic islet cells. So what does that mean? Well, that affects your insulin. And so that also contributes to diabetes. I mean, like plastic water bottles, like look at everybody thinking that they're being healthy, not drinking out of a can and not having soda, and here they are having water with this plastic that's leaching in. Like, there's just sneaky things. And I teach everybody in my program, and that's why we're successful, because we get like the whole we get the whole picture.
Yeah.
There's just so
Yeah.
we're under attack. There's so much out there. And
Yeah.
yeah,
It,
it's
it's
sneaky.
it's it's a micro macro kind of thing, isn't it? It's not just your
Yeah.
body, it's your environment. That's what I know you talk a lot about the importance of the harmony between the body and the environment. That's
Yeah.
again, that's just what I love about what you do. So is that part of the hope that you can offer here? I mean, we've got these skyrocketing rates of chronic illness. What
Yeah.
what is the hope that you can offer for sort of our next generation to break free of this mess? You talked about kind of like the old, Philip Morris generation that we were able to break out of, at least mostly. Some are
Yeah.
still, I guess, stuck in there. But how are we going to break out of the big pharma, the big food, big ag kind of thing?
Well, I think the first thing is to recognize that a lot of these things that we think are symptoms of aging, like, waking up not feeling refreshed, having elevated triglycerides, getting belly fat, having thyroid problems, having sex hormone imbalances, like these are not just part of aging, they're actually part of metabolic syndrome. And so what happens is when you go to the doctor, there's, you're not people are not addressed until they have full-blown diabetes. So they have metabolic syndrome and then prediabetes, but since you can't give a prescription for any of that, they don't really get help until they get full-blown diabetes. So what I try to do in this program, and what's important, it's like the number one thing that I see all the time. I get people, they send me their blood work from their doctor. I'm like, do you know you have prediabetes? They're like, no, doctor didn't say anything about that. I'm like, that is the number one thing. You cannot fix your sex hormones. You can't fix your thyroid. You've got to work on the blood sugar regulation first. And the doctor said nothing about that. And so that's like, when in my coaching program, we run a full thyroid panel. We look at all the sex hormones, all the stress hormones, and then we look at brain chemistry. And these are all simple tests you can do at home with urine. Like you can just
Mhm.
submit your urine and then put it in a little cooler and send it off to a lab. And you don't have to ever leave your house. So it's super convenient for people who have to drive an hour and a half to find a naturopathic doctor. I can work with anybody in any state. And it gives us insight. Endocrinology is tough. If you're working with your insurance company and you're looking for a thyroid specialist, it's really hard to find an endocrinologist that specializes in thyroid. Most of them just specialize in diabetes management because, like you said, it's the real pandemic. So
Right.
it's really hard to find somebody who can look at all these different thyroid biomarkers and interpret them correctly and then work backwards. So, in my program, there's a lot of things you can do at home. A lot of people who've been on thyroid medication for many years, it's like, they just keep upping the dose. Why am I not getting better? I'm
Right.
still having
Right.
this. And it's just because it's really hard. It's really hard to
Yeah.
understand. And a lot of doctors don't specialize in primary care doctors. They won't even order the tests because they don't know how to interpret them and they don't know how to, make a treatment plan based on these different biomarkers like thyroid peroxidase and thyroid globulin antibodies, reverse T3, like they just don't know. So I also do a
Right.
heavy metal test and then we work on removing other toxins. Like this, it's not a normal part of aging. It's because you've been subjected to all these things that you don't even like. Most of my clients think they're being healthy. They
Mhm.
think they're doing the right things. And what they'll tell me is like, you know, being in your program, I could finally put all the pieces together. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
your doctor doesn't know what to do. So you go to TikTok or you go to Instagram and you're trying to
Right.
piece things together. Maybe on YouTube, you go down a rabbit hole and you're like, okay, I think I understand. But that's the main thing. Like people don't understand. You're not aging. It's metabolic syndrome. And you're being
Yeah.
yeah, you're being either the toxic burden and it's affecting everything. So that's the
Yeah.
main
Well,
thing I
that's
really
what
want to hammer home.
yeah, you bring it. That's the beauty of what you do is you bring it all together. You're the who, not how. We're always trying to figure out how to do something. No, just find a mentor, find someone, find a who can do it for you, as it were. Now, if we click on the link below, we could sign up for a 30-minute consultation with you.
Yes.
How does your approach work to guide us toward real health?
Well, first of all, I'm giving all your clients 50% off for
Oh,
that 30-minute
cool. All right.
consultation.
Awesome.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I love you guys. So and I feel like it's a good Christian thing to do. So
Well, you
I
you've been Maha before there was ever Maha. That's what I I mean,
yeah.
you've been Make America Healthy Again forever. So this is great. You've been on the front lines of this. So yes, awesome. That's so cool.
Thank you. Yeah, it's in my heart to help God's people. So you get on this call and it's like a triage. Like I will listen to you. It's gonna be a Zoom, actually. So if you want to screen share any past blood work, if you're like, hey, this is what I got from my doctor, and this is what they said, or I get a lot of people that do like the Mark Hyman function health thing. They pay like
Mm,
$500 a couple times a year, and I get this all the time. They're like, yeah, they gave me all this blood work and I don't know what to do. Like
yeah.
that's like the chief complaint. So we can go over that. We can if you've been getting medicated for thyroid and something's just not working, we can talk about that. And if it's something that I feel like you'd be a good candidate for my coaching program, I'm also giving a discount on the coaching program for your people. We have our Turley Tuesdays masterminds that we do every Tuesday
I've been
evening.
I went to one. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes, yeah, they love that. That was so
That
amazing.
was
So
fun. That was really cool. That
that
was great to see.
that made their week. Thank you again. Um, but yeah, so we'll sit down and triage and get a plan. And if I think that I can't help you, I'll at least tell you where to go, who to call. Like I'm not,
Cool.
if it's I don't have a big ego. Like if it's outside my scope of practice, I'm gonna tell you, no, you need to go do XYZ. But if we think that you're a good candidate, then we can move forward. And we have a couple tiers depending on your budget. So, we have like a monthly
Wow.
membership. If you just want to get your feet wet, and then if you just are like sick and tired of being sick and tired, we have that boot camp that's 2 months long that'll change your life. Like,
That's
just
awesome.
ask any of our any of our past graduates,
Yeah.
it's been life-changing. We've gotten people off prescriptions, gotten rid of their arthritis so they can play with their grandkids. They can get on and off the floor again. Um, like it's amazing. Everybody's lost 10 to 15 pounds. They have more energy. They sleep better. They had better sex with their partner. Their relationships are improving. Like it's not just it's just not just your blood work. You're not just your blood work. Like this stuff trickles down to your quality of life,
Right.
and we can make your quality of life better now. And what we do now is going to completely change your trajectory in 10 years. Like it's just I can't hammer home how important it is to get started early.
Yeah.
As soon as you're feeling some symptoms, like as soon as your
Right.
body starts talking to you, listen when it's a whisper. Don't wait until it's screaming and
Yes.
then you have to go to the hospital.
Yes. Yeah. Well said. Yes. Start when you've just dug a little bit of a hole, and don't go all the way
Right?
down. That's for sure. Takes longer to dig out, but yeah, Gag, if we want to make America healthy again, we really have to act decisively against all the lies of the food and pharmaceutical industry that have led us into this health crisis. So if you want to learn more and take control of your health, seriously, I couldn't recommend anyone more to you. I encourage you to book a 30-minute consultation with Dr. Sarah Doyle. I've talked to those who have worked with her. They love her, and I think you will too. And again, she's offering our Turley Talkers very generously a special price. We've had, again, several Turley Talkers work with Sarah to get their health back on track. She's absolutely amazing. So click on the link in the description to secure your session today. You will not regret it. Thanks so much, Dr. Sarah. You are Maha. You are the ultimate Maha lady, and you're the best. Thank you so much. Come
Thanks,
back
Dr.
soon.
Steve. God bless America. Bye, everybody.
God bless you. Thanks, Dr. Sarah.